welcome on in to another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. I'm Terry, Nick beside me, Bryant on the bottom left, and we have a newcomer, Manny, here on the bottom right. Manny, how's it going?
Hey, all is well.
Betting on sports, and what are you thinking for today?
Yeah, it's a nice little board here. We got some competitive matchups here. A lot of playoff contenders. Looking forward to handicapping some games.
Awesome. We already have a chat. 30-minute traffic jam. Watching ya. It's lit. Oh, you're in traffic right now. All right, Cabano. Well, we will just jump right into the first game here. The Angels, plus 115, are in New York facing the Yankees, minus 135, a total of 8.5. And this one, Syndergaard on the mound for the Angels, Montgomery on the mound for the Yankees. The Angels have lost 5 in a row, have not really been playing well. They did run into the Jays, who seem to be catching fire. So I don't know exactly if did the Angels just play bad or are the Jays playing good? I think it's kind of a mixture of both here. Syndergaard, in 2 of his last 3 games, he was awesome, getting wins against Texas and Tampa Bay. 8 innings, 5 innings, gave up 1 earned run, 1 walk in the game against Texas, 1 earned run, 1 walk against Tampa Bay. But at the game in Texas, he absolutely just shit the bed. Didn't last an inning, gave up 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, only 1 strikeout. Here, Montgomery on the other side, he's been giving up 2 to 3 earned runs, going 4 to 6 innings, not really walking anybody. He did against the White Sox, no, not really against Baltimore. But his last 2 games were against Baltimore, and now he's going to face an Angels team that I think has a little bit of a better hitting. So I like the Angels team total over 4, which I got at plus 100. I think we can get some runs here from the Angels. And then who wins? I don't really know. I could see this being a high-scoring game as well. So I want to talk anybody off the over 8.5. Just if we do get Syndergaard at his best, that could possibly affect the full game over. But I like runs from the Angels. Nick, Angels, Yankees, what do you think here?
Yeah, I do like the weather conditions for and over in this game. I personally have nothing on this game. This is one of the only games that I really had no interest in betting here. I would lean over, and I would lean towards the Angels a little bit in this game. The only problem is I don't know what type of Noah Syndergaard we're going to get. We've had starts where he's looked good, and then we've seen starts against like the Texas Rangers where he was given a 3-0 lead in the first and gave up 6 in the bottom of the first. So it really depends on what type of Noah Syndergaard we get today, and I'm not trying to bet to find out. So I'm going to sit back, relax, and not pay attention to this game because I have other stuff on the card.
All right. Bryant, the Angels are heading to New York to face your Yankees. What do you think in this one?
Yeah. I honestly would just want to stay away from a side tonight. Not because I don't trust Monty to get it done. This is a very tough matchup for him. They've got quite a few righty bats in that Angels lineup. Obviously, the biggest being the best player in the sport. Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I would not be, and I am saying this with 100% honesty, I would not be all that surprised if the Angels came out and absolutely wrecked Monty. And again, this isn't because he's a bad pitcher. I just don't like some of the matchups in terms of what Monty throws, what the Angels are good at hitting. He's not a hard thrower at that. He likes to pitch guys inside. If you're going to throw inside, you really need to be able to get it inside. And for a guy that doesn't throw that hard, and he likes to use that curveball away and that changeup away as well, it's kind of ineffective if you can't pound guys inside. And I don't think he's going to be able to do it. So with that being said, from a betting perspective, I think there's much more value on the over. And the flip side to that is Store. I think he has a lot of good natural talent. These last couple of starts have been really weird. You and I talked about this every time he comes back up on the show. That Angels start or the Rangers start that he had, that was bad, man. It was just very bad. His team spotted him 4 runs and he gave it up without even I think he only recorded a single out, and that was on a sac fly at that. So I think the over is very much a live bet here. It's probably where I'm gonna go spend my hard-earned money at, but I'm definitely staying away from a side. But if I was picking a side, and I'm saying this again with as much neutrality as possible, it would definitely be the Angels. At least the Angels in the first 5 to come out there and get it. And then also, and I hate to reiterate points like this, but time and time again, it's the case for the Yankees and Montgomery. They don't give him runs, so he'll pitch. He's very well could keep us in the game, but he'll give up 2 runs, and the Yankees won't score enough, and they are already down. Guys like Donaldson, Stanton's out too, so it's only going to make it even harder for them to score runs. So you are banking on Syndergaard walking some guys, someone like Aaron Judge or Anthony Rizzo to hit a bomb to score runs really right now. So everything, like I said, everything's pointing to the side if you're a neutral bettor. I am not a neutral bettor in this specific instance. My team is involved, but for money purposes and betting purposes, I would probably lean towards F5, but I'm putting money likely on some sort of total, whether it's a team total or just the overall full game, because the Angels bullpen is horrible, as you saw this weekend. So that's a very much live play right there.
All right. Manny, Angels and Yankees. What do you think here?
Yeah, nice. You know what? I'm actually going to lean towards the Yankees. Again, we talked about how there's 2 different types of Noah Syndergaards. His home road split is so different. He's got a 5.93 ERA on the road, so he's given up most of his runs on the road as opposed to at home. He's only got 2 starts in Yankee Stadium, but his ERA is 4.91. So I'm looking at the fact that they're going to get a win from Montgomery. He hasn't got a win this season, but he's only given up 2 runs in his last 7 games. So his last outing was a quality outing as well. I think they got the opportunity here in New York to get one for him. Again, I feel like if you can neutralize Shohei to a certain extent, then that'll help your cause. His batters are hitting 1.25 batting average against lefties are hitting that against him. So lefties are faltering a little bit. He's able to control lefties. Shohei's might not have the best night. So I can lean New York on the money line there at minus 138. That's kind of going to be my play right there for this game.
All right. We'll move on along here to the next one. The White Sox plus 150 are in Toronto minus 170. Total 7.5 on this one. We get Lucas Giolito for the White Sox, Kevin Gausman for the Jays. Giolito in his last 3 games, a win against Boston, a win against Cleveland, no decision against Kansas City. He didn't give up more than 2 runs in any of the 3 games. 7 strikeouts in 2, 5 strikeouts in the other. He did have 4 walks in his last game against Boston, but he's pitched very well. Gausman on the other side here won his last game against St. Louis. 2 losses before that against Seattle and Tampa Bay, but Gausman has been awesome this year. He's been huge on the strikeouts against St. Louis in his last game, 8 strikeouts against Tampa Bay as well, and then only 3 against Seattle in that one game where he didn't really pitch that well. I like the first 5 under 4, which I got at minus 105, and I'm also on the Jays first 5 run line minus 0.5 at minus 115. I feel like if I'm going to lose this, or if I'm going to lose the under, then I'm probably going to get the Jays run line. That's how I'm kind of looking at it. And then there is obviously the possibility that I could get both. So that's how I'm kind of tackling this game. After the first 5, I am not quite sure what happens. But I like the way the Jays are playing right now. But minus 170 is quite a big number in this matchup. But I do think the Jays are the better team and have caught fire here, and I think it'll continue going on here. Nick, White Sox, Blue Jays, what do you think here?
Yeah, I like the pitching matchup for this one with Gausman and Giolito. So I do have that first 5 under. I would also lean the other way on that first 5. I would lean more towards the White Sox plus the half rather than the Blue Jays minus the half, because I see this as a low scoring first 5 to a potential where we see 1-1 or 0-0 at the end of 5 innings. So, and when I first saw this game, I saw minus 170, minus 180 for the Blue Jays, and we're seeing Giolito. I get it, it's on the road at plus 140. I thought maybe there's a little bit of value there backing Lucas Giolito and the White Sox at this big plus of a price tag. But I end up just sticking with the first 5 under in this game with just a lean towards the White Sox in this spot.
All right. Richie P. Yeah, I was on the Twins first 5 minus a half plus 100. And then I have the Twins money line and 2 parlays, which I'll give out here at the end of the show. But good job. Bryant, White Sox, the Blue Jays. What do you think in this one?
Yeah, it's pretty simple for me. I know it sounds crazy, but I like the Blue Jays a lot here. One, the offense seems to have came alive, which is the big thing with the Blue Jays. They've been hitting the ball off the cover, or the cover off the ball, I should say, the last few games. Some numbers that I peeped. They have scored 4 more runs over the last 5 games. Looks like Bo Bichette is taking that leap forward as well. And more importantly, they're winning games. They've won 5 straight coming into this as well. Kevin is on the mound. He's a auto back for me for the most part in terms of pitching. I have a few guys like that across the league. Kevin is one of them. And I think it's even it's exacerbated a little bit more by the fact that the best player on the Chicago White Sox is not playing. That is Tim Anderson. He's not playing today. He's sitting out with that groin injury. He leads the entire league, major leagues in hitting. He has a bunch of leadoff home runs as well. He's not playing, and this team's already I think like 27th or 28th. I saw this when they were playing against the Cubs this weekend. They were bottom 3rd in the league in scoring as a whole coming into this game, and that was with Tim's production obviously factored in. He's not going to be there. This game is in Toronto as well. I like the Jays across the board. I'm going to take them on the F5 run line. Giolito is really, he's a solid pitcher. He's probably the most consistent guy they have in their rotation right now. I think he's going to do well and keep them in the game. But with the way the Jays are starting to swing the bats, it's giving me 2021 vibes where it didn't matter kind of who lined up against them, that they could explode for 3 runs in an inning just like that. I'm starting to get that feeling a little bit, and I think they'll scratch across a couple runs to cover that F5 run line for us. I think it'll be a close game to that first 5. And I don't have any desire really to back the Jays full game. The Jays bullpen is garbage. Very garbage, Terry, and you know this.
Hey, no, there's a few good pieces. So
Yeah,
if Simmer comes out, I'm happy.
Yeah, there are a few pieces that are respectable, but I think
Romano and Zimmer about it though.
Yeah, but like as a collective, that's not enough for me to sit there and put money on a full game run line against a White Sox team that, no, don't get me wrong, they're not. I don't think they're as good as they anticipated they were. They're still a talented team, and to that point, in saying that about the bullpens, I think that the White Sox have better arms in their bullpen in terms of talent wise. So ultimately, if you're going to sit there and tell me who do you trust after 5, I've got to trust the White Sox bullpen, but I don't want to do that. There's no value there. So I think minus 115 is very good value on a F5 run line against a team and a pitcher of Giolito's quality. So I'm going to play it safe and just go F5. F5 run line here, and let's get in and get out. So,
all right. A tip for anybody: if you're watching the Blue Jays game and you see Merriweather coming up to pitch, bet the other team as quickly as you possibly can, and then come and thank me in the comments on the next day's show, because you will have made money. Merriweather is god awful. He is absolutely horrible. So if Merriweather plays, bet the other team. Thank me later. Manny, White Sox, Blue Jays. What do you think here?
Yeah. It's a pitching matchup, right? It's a pitching duel. That's what I'm envisioning. I'm actually going to back the White Sox here on the run line for the full game. Giolito's starting to come into his own ever since he came off his COVID-19 stretch. His last outing, he gave up 1 run. Gosman's last outing, they both gave up 1 run apiece. They're pitching really well. Giolito, he's back up to his usual strikeouts per 9. He's sitting about 15 per 9 kind of thing. And, Gosman's right up there too. So the Jays coming off of a 6-game road trip, I feel like they're going to dip a little bit. I don't really buy into the offense, considering that before they went on the road, they weren't scoring much runs at home. And, they had a nice little stretch in St. Louis and then in Anaheim. But, knowing the Jays, they'll falter in this one. Giolito's on his game. I'm taking the White Sox run line for the full game here.
All right. And Richie says, like the honesty. Manny's actually a Blue Jays fan too. He's wearing a Yankees hat, but he is a Blue Jays fan. He will actually fade his team. Me, on the other hand, I can never bet against my team. But
they might win by 1 run. I'm just saying. They won't win by 2.
Yeah, hey, if you do the plus 1.5.
I think there's value on plus 150 full game there.
Yeah, it depends. It depends kind of what happens in the first 5. If I was going to look at the White Sox, I might wait and see how the first 5 goes, because if the Jays are ahead, you could get a pretty nice number here on the White Sox live.
Yeah. I think that's where the value is. Is like once these 2 guys go out, all bets are off. with because you got Liam Hendricks is he's almost, I feel like he's due once a week to blow a save. So if the White Sox are up and he comes in the game with the way the Jays have been hitting, I think you could live bet the Jays and make some money off that. I don't really trust a lot of their arms either. It's just a bad. Those bullpens are really scary to me. So it's F5, and like you guys said, you look at the games after those 2 go out, and then you see where it's at.
A live over, maybe.
Yeah, possibly.
If the score is like 2-1 or
exactly
something like that, you can hit a live over probably.
Yeah.
Also, I'm starting to notice the Blue Jays, and I know the Mets are a little bit like this too, where they're similar to where we looked at the Florida Panthers come NHL season in the regular season, where if they were down later in the game, you can look to live bet them late in the game, and probably they'll catch back up and at least force overtime or something like that, like with the Florida Panthers. I've noticed that with the Mets and the Blue Jays this year is when they're good at those late game comebacks.
Yeah.
So that's another thing to keep in mind if you like live betting. Those are 2 teams I keep an eye out for.
Nice.
All right. Richie says it's in a parlay. I also have the Jays full game money line in a parlay, so we'll ride it out together. And I'll go over my parlay at the end. I'll go into the 3rd game here before we get into last pitch. The Brewers minus 130 are in Chicago facing the Cubs plus 110. A total of 9.5 in this one. This is my favorite game of the night, betting wise. Milwaukee is playing pretty good right now, and they are on the road here with Eric Lauer on the mound, a pitcher that I've loved to back this year. I did fade him in the 1 game. I'm trying to remember which one it was, but other than that, I have a bet him most games here. He's on the mound here, facing a Cubs team. Justin Steele on the other side. He has not been good. In the 2 games against Arizona, he gave up 1 earned run, 4 walks, 19 strikeouts, and 4 hits in 11 innings. So that's very good, but that is against an Arizona team. In his last game against Cincinnati, he went 2 innings, gave up 7 hits, 7 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. I don't need the Brewers to smash to smash them. But I think the Milwaukee is a good spot here. I found Milwaukee first 5 money line at minus 115. I put 2.5 units on that. It's also my best bet, which we'll get to shortly. But I love the Brewers in the first 5 here on the money line. I want to talk anybody off the run line as well. If you want to look at Lauer strikeouts, you can do that. Same game parlay. Whatever involving Milwaukee, I think Milwaukee at minus 130 is an absolute steal in this spot. So anything to do with Milwaukee is good in this spot, in my opinion. Nick, Brewers and Cubs, what do you think here?
Yeah, as for the starting pitchers in this game, I think it is a mismatch here with the Brewers, and that's why I did only take the first 5 innings here with the Brewers at the minus half at even money. I do think the Brewers are the better team in this spot. They do have the starting pitching advantage. One thing that does worry me a little bit in this one for a full game play on the Brewers is that the Cubbies actually have a very underrated bullpen, I've noticed. They have one of the lowest bullpen Sierras in baseball, which I'm trying to see. Let's see where they are. They are actually the best bullpen in baseball by Sierra metrics. So if you're ever looking to take the Cubbies, I would recommend a full game play on them. But this is a spot here where you can probably find an interesting prop for the Brewers to win the first 5, but the Cubbies to win the full game, which I think could be an interesting look. But I do like the Brewers here in the first 5 innings at minus the half a run. I just don't want to go against the Cubby bullpen for the full game there. So I just took Milwaukee here at 5.
All right. Well, hopefully the Brewers have a big enough lead that the bullpen won't hopefully matter. Fingers crossed. Bryant, Brewers and Cubs. I know that you've made money here on Lauer this year. What are you thinking on this spot?
Yeah, I'm going to the Brewers at 5 as well, following Nick in that regard. I'm going to go with the F5 run line. Yes, sir. I'm going to also go with Lauer strikeouts. I'm going to run off a very, 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 very interesting bit of this, stats that I think will back up my claim. One, the biggest one is he has a 29.4 strikeout rate, which is actually, not that crazy or not that far off from what Steele has, who's at 25%. So we could see a lot of strikeouts. I think maybe strikeout props could be a play for both teams here. But with that said, Eric Lauer has made me some money on multiple occasions here. 2 different starts with his strikeout props. The Cubs, if I'm not mistaken, since the calendar went to May, they're batting .222 as a team, and their strikeout rate as a whole is at a 25.6%. Aaron Ashby just had 12 Ks yesterday. They're susceptible. They strike out. It's kind of out there now. I don't see why you wouldn't take a stab at a strikeout prop here with Lauer, who is known for it. He's had multiple games this year where he's put up double digits against better offensive teams, i.e. the Braves. So I'm gonna hop on the Lauer strikeouts. I think I saw Bovada have it at 7.5. It might have been 6.5. I'm not sure. But either way, I'm gonna ladder it all the way up to 9.5. I'm just gonna stack it, and that's it. I think this might be my play of the night. That if it hits, I probably won't care about some of my other plays because I'm gonna, I'll make a significant amount of change off of it. But that's what I'm going with. I'm gonna go with the Brewers at 5. I just trust Lauer a little bit more than I trust Steele, and I trust their offense, the Brewers' offense, more than I trust the Cubs' offense right now. Considering, like I said, they are batting .222 in the month of May. Calendars about to flip over, so maybe they switch things around. But for this last night in May, let's keep those bats quiet.
All right, Manny, Brewers and Cubs. What do you think here?
Yeah, no, I was liking what Nick said there. I can definitely see the Brewers getting out to an early lead, and then possibly seeing the Cubs come back and possibly backdoor them. So I'm going to go full game. I'm going to go full game, and I'm going to take the Cubs on the run line. Again, Steele, Bryant was saying it about how his strikeouts numbers were similar to Lauer's. And, he's had 2 starts against him this year, and he's 1-1 with a 2.25. They're in Chicago. It's a divisional game. I figure, Chicago always plays them tough, Milwaukee divisional games. And the fact that Steele has some sort of history and some sort of success against this Milwaukee lineup this year, I feel like that's kind of a safe play where I can, I can take the run line there. So I'm taking, and that's at minus 140. Chicago plus the 1.5.
All right. We'll move on here to last pitch and just briefly give out whatever else we like. So I'll start with San Francisco. The Giants, I'm on the San Francisco money line here. I think it's a pitching advantage for the Giants. And then we know what the Phillies bullpen does, and that's give up runs. So I got Giants money line at plus 116. Washington, New York Mets. Corbin against Williams. I'm on the over 9. I do like to take the Mets against righties, but Corbin is just so bad that I don't think the lefty righty split will do too much in this one. I think Mets will be able to get runs off Corbin. So Nationals should get some runs here as well. So I like the over 9 full game. St. Louis Cardinals are facing the Padres. The Padres, a team that I made money off of all year, not a team that I really want to fade, but the Cardinals are by far the best team in the league against left-handed pitching. Blake Snell, obviously a lefty that hasn't really got off to a great start. This is not a good spot for him coming to St. Louis, where their bats can smash lefties. So I am intrigued by the St. Louis money line at minus 125, but I went with the team total over 4 at minus 105. I think the Cardinals will be able to get runs in this spot. And then I can't believe I'm doing this, but for the first time all year, I am backing the Texas Rangers on the first 5 money line at minus 118. Perez has been absolutely outstanding. The Rangers have a pitcher that is good, which is kind of a little shocking to say. But Perez has been in the league a long time. Right now, he's pitching very well. So I'll take him first 5 money line for Texas minus 118. And then my 2 parlays, both 3 gamers that had the Minnesota Twins from game 1, which is obviously cashed. So the first parlay, Minnesota, game 1, Toronto Blue Jays, Milwaukee Brewers, plus 380. And Minnesota game 1, San Francisco Giants, and St. Louis Cardinals, plus 554 as the third one. So that is it for me. Oh, I also did bet a boosted bet. Gosman and Giolito both over 6.5 strikeouts, which I got at plus 370.
Oh, nice.
I think both of them will be able to get 7 strikeouts. And that is about it for me. Games I haven't bet that I'm probably looking at here. The Marlins. I have to look up Cabrera here and get some more stats on him, but Marquez has been pretty bad for Colorado. And then, that's basically about it for me. Nick, last pitch. Anything else in the world of baseball you want to give out?
Yeah, I'm looking at a little bit of Royals tonight, team total over, and that full game over as well. Just 2 pitchers I'm looking to fade with Savali and Lynch. I'm looking at a little bit of Cincinnati Reds tonight against the Boston Red Sox. I like their team total over 3.5. I like that full game over 8.5. We've seen this Boston bullpen struggle. Michael Wacha, he does have a very nice ERA and a very nice whip so far this season. I'm trying to find it here on my spreadsheet. There it is, a 2.83 ERA and a 1.02 whip. But when you look at his FIP and his Sierra, I'm definitely expecting some regression out of Wacha. So I think that can happen tonight. We have seen, I think I saw a stat after one of the worst Aprils in history. The Cincinnati Reds had the second best record in May, only to the LA Dodgers. Yes, you heard that correct. And I want to back them here. Team total over 3.5, full game over 8.5. I think they're very live to win the game straight up. I do like that over in the Mets game, over 9. I don't trust Trevor Williams, and I definitely love fading Patrick Corbin. I'm on that Cardinals train as well. I'm on the Cardinals team total over, full game over as well. Wainwright, I think, can get hit as well as Ian Snell. Right on those Texas Rangers as well. I think I saw a stat. If you've bet Martin Perez in the first 5 innings every single game he started, the worst you've done is push. So I'm on first 5, minus the half a run there. I also do like Oakland and Houston first 5 under the 3.5. And Arizona and Atlanta, I like Arizona's team total over 3.5 and the full game over 9.
All right. Bryant, last pitch. Anything else that you're liking today?
Yeah, I've got a few. A couple of plays that I really like. I'm going to start with the Braves. Uncle Charlie is on the mound. This is my guy right now. I'm going to ride the hot hand. He's delivered for me these last couple of starts. This isn't really a spot where I feel comfortable to hop off the train yet. We're getting the one Arizona pitcher that I don't feel too confident about, and that's Castellanos. The biggest thing for me is as long as Morton keeps those walks down, he has good enough stuff to get guys out. Plenty capable to get guys out. But with that being said, I'm going to take them on the F5 run line. It's minus 114 is what I got it at. So I'm going to run with that. As we progress down the line or the slate for the rest of the day, I like the Red Sox tonight. I lean the Red Sox to tonight. I don't know if I'm sold yet on making an official play in that game, but I am leaning the Red Sox in that matchup. I don't really think there's value on the money line for me particularly, so I would just go with the run line. But yeah, I'm like I said, I'm leaning the Red Sox there. The Mariners and Orioles. My young guy George Kirby is on the mound. He has some really good advanced numbers. The ERA is kind of bloated a little bit. He had a couple blow up starts. But the one thing that I really love about him is he's not really walking guys at all. And that's a very good thing to have if you're going to be a young pitcher trying to make it in the MLB. You're not giving guys free passes. You got to make them work. Either hit the ball or you're getting them out. But you're not giving them free passes. He has a walks per 9 of like 0.90. I think that's sustainable. Keeps guys off base. He has good enough stuff to get guys out. They're at home, if I'm not mistaken, as well. No, they're away, so they're in Baltimore.
Yeah, they're in Baltimore.
I still like the Mariners here. I trust them. I like their bullpen a little bit more than I like the Orioles. The Orioles are kind of a nuisance. Mike Baumann, they're very much a nuisance. But I'm gonna take a stab on the Mariners here, and I like them on the money line. As we go down the list as well, it's an automatic bet for me. As I'm looking at the Mets game as well, we got Patrick Corbin on the mound. So let me get some team totals with the Mets. Shout out to the Earls. Their team came through last night for me. It was looking dicey early.
Never in doubt. Come on, man.
They went down 3-0, and I was like, what are we doing here? But they delivered in a big way, especially with the over cashing in the second inning. Come on now. A lot of the Nationals pitchers a lot of them are punching bags, and the Mets are hitting the cover off the ball right now. So I've got the Mets team total over 4.5. I also have it over 5. I'm feeling myself. If one team in New York can't hit and it can't be mine, at least we got to make some money off the other ones. So that's where I'm going to go with that. Trevor Williams is kind of got it back in a pitching matchup. So I'm going to stay away from that. I do think the Mets win because they're just a better outright team. They're more talented. Kind of like yesterday with Peterson on the mound. he did not look great at all at first, but ultimately the better team won, and that's kind of how it goes. It might look ugly at first, but they'll, generally they'll come through. So, and another play that I really like tonight, two more. This is going to sound crazy as can be. I am backing Marquez tonight and Coors. Yeah, I know. Hold on.
He was their all-star last year. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, no, I backed him a lot when he pitched last year, and a couple of my friends will tell you I was pounding the table for maybe the Yankees to grab him at the trade deadline because he was pitching pretty well, and if he can pitch pretty well in Coors, hey man, we needed it.
Pitch decent in the Little League Stadium of Yankee Stadium, right?
Oh, is that what we're doing? We're doing this right now on stream. But anyway, I trust him more than I trust this kid who is making his first start this year. He pitched last year, but I don't really think, pitching in Coors for your first start of the year is a great job interview. This go around. The Rockies, we know that they hit better at home. Can I get the Rockies to give me a lead through the first 5? That's all I'm asking. I'm not asking for the full game. I'm going with the F5 run line, and I think I had it set at, hold on one sec. I had it set right here. The first 5 run line was at minus 106. That's good value, man, against a kid that's making his first appearance in his debut of the year against a Rockies team at home. I feel like you really can't pass that up. If nothing else, you're going to see runs, which is why I'm going to have my fallback option, and I'm going to go with the first half total over 5.5. That's at minus 112. That's where I'm getting it at, and I'm going to go with that. And I'm going to also lay up on top and take the Rockies team total over 4.5, or not over 4.5, over 5. A lot of inflated lines with some of these run lines tonight, but I think that with the numbers jump in terms of home runs over the last few weeks, weather's nice across the country right now. Now, scientifically speaking, that's when balls jump out of parks better. You're in Coors with thin air as can be. I expect some meatballs to be served up, and I think you'll see runs. And I don't trust the Rockies bullpen, which is why I went F5 as well. So, yeah. And my last play was a Dodgers. Urias is at home against the Pirates. He pitches much better in Dodger Stadium. I like for them to bounce back tonight. I've got them on the run line at minus 1.5, and yeah, that's it.
All right. Yeah, I'm probably looking at a Dodgers team total over, but I'll have to kind of see what the numbers are.
Yeah, you got Money Mitch, and I call him Money Mitch for a reason because you can make money fading him.
Yeah, exactly. Manny, last pitch. Anything else on baseball that you want to give out?
Not too much. I didn't really get a chance to get into too much there. I'm kind of with you there on the St. Louis, San Diego. Snell. He can get the ball up there, but St. Louis can hit him pretty well. So if you're a lefty at home, I'll take St. Louis there on the money line, minus 130. That's it.
All right. We'll move on along to the NHL playoff game before we get to best bets and everything. I'll bring up the poll from the Twitter. Not a whole lot of votes on it today, but that's okay. And pretty even here. 35% say take Oilers money line, 35% says take Colorado in regulation, and 30% says take the over 7. The under 7 didn't get any votes, so I guess nobody is feeling an under in this spot. For me, it's the Oilers money line at plus 170. That there's just value on that. I also have Edmonton to win and McDavid over 1.5 points, plus 360. I think if Oilers are going to win this game, McDavid's going to get over 1.5 points. going towards the whole series. I haven't officially got my bets in yet for the Stanley Cup, Conn Smythe, everything like that. I'm not going to be betting any series bets this time. I'm just going to look at Cup futures and the Oilers. I'm going to have some bets on them to win the Cup just because of the value with the number that it is. And I think the Oilers can steal one on the road here in Game 1. Nick, Oilers Avalanche, what do you think here?
Yeah, this is a series, and this is a matchup I've been looking at for the last few days since we found out what it was. And the more and more I looked at it, the Colorado Avalanche, I think, faced their toughest opponent in the Western Conference already. I think the Blues is probably the toughest opponent they would have to play up until the Stanley Cup. I think that's pretty fair to say, because I think if we saw Blues and Oilers, it'd be Blues in 6. And I've been saying this for a while. I think the Central Division is better than the Pacific Division when it came to the Western Conference. And I see a goaltending advantage, Darcy Kemper over Mike Smith. And what we saw last series from the Colorado Avalanche is I don't think they played 100% their best hockey either, to be completely honest, because I think the Blues actually played them really tough. And I think the best is yet to come from the Avalanche here. I think they're starting to peak at the right time now. And I think that they're the better overall team. And I want to see what Mike Smith does against, no offense to your Kings there, Bryant, but the Kings offense was not great. And the Flames flamed out in the second round there, pun intended. So I was kind of looking at the Avalanche here. I got them on the puck line here at plus 130. I just don't think that Mike Smith can sustain what he's done the first 2 rounds. I think that this is a huge step up in competition for the Edmonton Oilers. I think this is a step down in competition for the Colorado Avalanche. And I think that they'll be able to slow down McDavid. I think that there's a couple ways that you can look to slow down McDavid. I was listening to someone talk about this earlier, and I 100% agreed. We can either see Nazem Kadri. I also look at Nazem Kadri props, by the way. I think we're going to see increased minutes for him this series because I think he's going to shadow McDavid. It's either going to be that or McDavid's going to get the McKinnon line, and we're going to have to see, and we're going to see how bad of defensively Connor McDavid could be, because I think that Connor McDavid and that his line, if they go up against the McKinnon line, is going to be spending a lot of time in their own zone. So I think that they'll be able to defend McDavid by playing offensive hockey. And I think the the Avalanche are a really bad matchup for the Oilers here. So I took the Oilers puck line. I also took a big stab at them here at the series price. I didn't have any series futures, anything like that, but I did put them minus 1.5 games at minus 125, I believe. I believe I got minus 110 for Avalanche to win Game 1 and the series. So sprinkled minus 2.5 at plus 175 and a quarter unit on the sweep at plus 650. I think that the Oilers are just the much better overall team, or the Avalanche are the much better overall team, and we're going to see it here in this series.
All right. Where is the comment I wanted to bring up? As Toby said, they faced each other 3 times this year, the Oilers and Colorado. The Oilers won 1 game, and the Avs won the other 2 in overtime. So that's something to keep in mind. And also Mike Smith apparently has the 3rd best stats in the league in goaltending.
Against the Flames and the Kings. Those are much different than the Avalanche.
Behind Igor Vaz. Hey, Mike Smith, we know what he is, but the fact that he's playing well, he should get a little bit of credit for that, I think. Bryant, Oilers and Avalanche, what do you think here?
Yeah, I think ultimately, I'm watching this whole series, and as a now neutral, viewer, I'm interested to see how this kind of whole thing plays out. I think that the Avalanche may be the best team, top to bottom, in the entire league. But something has got to be said about the fact that, despite all of that, the Oilers just keep chugging along. They've got Draisaitl, they've got McDavid. Somehow, some way, they keep winning games. I thought they were for sure cooked against the Flames. I really did. Especially after the way the first couple of games went. They found a way. They hit another gear, and they were able to get out of that. But with the Avalanche here, It's really quite simple for me in terms of this specific game and really the whole series. The McKinnon line and the Najee line, they're better. They're just better. They have the two best lines in the entire series. We know Edmonton's going to put Draisaitl and McDavid on the same line. They've been doing that since the Kings forced them to into what, game 6, game 7. Yep. That's been their thing, and it's worked. But they have not faced a team top to bottom like the Avs, and I think that eventually something gimmicky like that is going to have to stop, especially when you don't have the depth in the rest of your lines. I don't see it over the course of 7 games, if it even takes that long. And I definitely don't see it tonight in Colorado. I like the Avs to win in reg. I don't know if it's going to be a blowout, just kind of based on how the regular season has went. But to that point, I think this is kind of going to be a similar situation to what we saw in that first game against the Blues for the Avs, where they just pepper the hell out of the goalkeeper. And you're going to see Mike Smith in hell. He is going to be in hell tonight. He doesn't have the defenseman to kind of help him out either. They're just going to come in waves. And ultimately, I think that's going to be the difference in the whole series. As a whole, is Kemper's better than Mike Smith. And I think you have Cale Makar and Toews. They're the difference. I think they're 2 elite defenders. They have the pedigree, and the film is out there, and they know what they need to do to stop Draisaitl, and they know what they need to do to stop McDavid. And I think that's just kind of where the game kind of is summed up at. Is those two will do what they're supposed to, and then you got guys like McKinnon who will put the puck in the net for the Avs. A bunch of other guys. Ultimately, that's kind of where it's at. So I'm going to take the Avs and reg here, first game. And before the series starts, I think I'm going to take the Avs -1.5 as well for this. For the series? Yeah, for the series, yeah.
All right. Manny, Oilers Avalanche. Any thoughts here?
Yeah, no, it looks like it's, I think we're all in alignment here. I'm taking Colorado on the puck line tonight. Again, Colorado's been on the cusp of this moment for how many years? There's so many things to factor in. Edmonton coming off of a really emotional Battle of Alberta. And, when you factor in even the altitude that they're playing in Colorado, I said, Brian said it, you know what? They're going to come in waves like they did in game 1. The crowd's going to be rocking. Again, when you look at just matching up by positions, again, I can almost say, okay, we can call it even when it comes to their top guys, McKinnon, McDavid. But when it comes to goalie, when it comes to defensemen, being at home again, having the, being able to change lines and that kind of thing, having that advantage. And again, just the fact that they've been so close for so many years, and they're finally there. It's game 1, Western Conference Finals. Mike Smith again, what's he going to do? You let one in from the red line, the other team's red line, who knows? But, it's like
that's the Mike Smith time now.
Yeah, oh, geez, who's he going to do this time, right? You don't even know. So, I'm taking Colorado minus the 1.5 on the puck line. Let's get that empty net, worst case scenario, and let's be happy with that for game 1.
Also, I'm going to echo Nick's point that he made as well, and I think this honestly stands out the most. The Avs faced the Preds. Obviously they were missing Saros, but they were tested. That's a good team, and the Preds are better than the Kings. I'm saying this as a Kings fan. Yep. They are a better team than we were. And then they also faced,
I don't know if Ingram in net or British in net. I would disagree with that. If it's Saros, then yeah, with the backup unit,
yeah. And then they also face the Blues, and that the Blues offense. The Blues have a deeper offensive unit than
the Central Division was amazing this year.
Yeah, and the Blues have a better.
They had 5 teams for a reason.
Exactly, and they have a deeper offensive unit than what the Oilers can offer over the course of a series, right? They had 6 guys that scored 20 goals.
9. They had 9.
Oh, okay, so it's even more than that. But the point is, exactly, it's just Draisaitl and McDavid, and you hope you get something from Kane and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on a game-to-game basis. That's just not enough, man.
Hyman's been okay too. But
Also, that defensive core, I think, has 1 weak unit on 1 weak point on each of the 3 pairings.
That you can just absolutely abuse.
With CC playing top, I believe he's playing top defenseman minutes.
Yeah.
Duncan Keith, there's not going to get the job done against Colorado.
There you go.
Duncan Keith was getting abused by Andres and FNCU for us, and I hate him, and I think I cannot wait for him to leave. He was getting abused by him over the course of 7 games. Come on, man. What do you think Nathan McKinnon and these guys are going to do to him?
Well, we'll go on to best bets, but before we do, I will mention I was on an island by myself on the Rangers yesterday, but actually Toby here in the chat was also on the Rangers with me. Everybody else was on Carolina. It worked out well, so I'll be on the Oilers on an island by myself again, and we'll see what happens here. But we'll move on to best bets segment. We'll start with dog of the day, as we always do. For me, it's the San Francisco Giants. They are my dog of the day. Edmonton Oilers was my close second, but I went with the Giants here. Nick, you went with the Cincinnati Reds as your dog of the day. Bryant, is there a dog that you like today?
The only one I really could probably put some money on is, like I said, I'm going to fade my guys. It would be the Angels. But if I'm gonna take a stab on the Giants again. They cashed my best bet. It was never in doubt yesterday. Don't care what anyone says. I always knew the Phillies bullpen would choke it away. They did. I'm gonna go with the Giants. The Giants on the money line again today.
All right. Manny, is there a dog of the day that you like today?
Yeah, I'm going to stay with my initial statement there about the Jays coming off of this road trip and just at home. I'm going to ride Giolito here, and we're going to take the White Sox on the money line. Tim Anderson being out, I mean, it's a big deal. Obviously, I see a low scoring game. Give me a 3-2, 4-3 game. White Sox win in extra innings. I'm okay with that.
All right. We'll move on to over or under. For me, I'm on 2 totals today, and I chose the White Sox Toronto first 5 under 4. Nick chose the other one, what my total would have been if I didn't choose the White Sox Toronto first 5 under 4, and that's Washington New York Mets over 9. Bryant, is there a total you like today?
Yeah. Hold on, let me pull it up. I'm going with that first 5 for that Yankees. Where is it? Total. Oh, here we go. First half total runs. There it is. It's over 4.5. I'm gonna take that. Minus 110. I'm telling you now, I really, if there's under 4.5 runs by the time the 5th inning rolls around, I'd be surprised. I think one of these pitchers is going to get battered today. I just don't know who. I'm, as a Yankee fan, I hope it's Noah. But someone's going to get lit up this evening in New York. So yeah, that's where I'm going to lean.
All right. Manny, is there a total that you like today?
Yeah, I'm liking the under in that Brewers-Cubs game. Under 10 runs. Again, 2 good starting pitchers. We know the Cubs bullpen is capable. And, just what I've seen from these teams when they play in Chicago, it's always a, nip and tug sometimes of a game. And, just based off of, kind of what I'm feeling right now, I'm going to take the under on that game.
All right. Yes, Turnsy, the Rangers. We'll go on here to best bets, best parlay pieces. For me today, best bet, Milwaukee first 5 money line. I have 2.5 units on it. It's my biggest bet of the night, minus 115. And my best parlay piece, Trey Turner to get a hit. He has been absolutely on fire. I think it's 25 or 26 straight games he has with a hit. So if you want something to add to a parlay, I think Trey Turner to get a hit is a good one. Nick took the Colorado Avalanche on the puck line as his best bet. Colorado Avalanche money line as his parlay piece. Bryant, what are you thinking here for best bet and best parlay piece?
Can you come back?
Sure.
I'm still debating something real quick.
Hey, no worries. Manny, best bet, best parlay piece.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the best bet is gonna be Colorado on the kind of on the money line and whatnot. We'll take Colorado.
Yeah, you can use in regulation,
In regulation, yeah.
which is minus 120. So yeah, you can do that.
That works.
Yeah.
That works. And in terms of the parlay piece, I'm looking at Trout here. 1 second. All right. And okay. I need Trout to get 2 hits.
All right.
He's batting second in the lineup tonight. Lefty, righty. You know, he hits well against lefties. Second in the lineup. He's going to get at least 5 at bats. I see a single and a double, but a single and a single works too.
All right. You can just take him to get 1 hit if you want.
Well, let's just do that to be safe then.
Yeah. Okay. But you do like the over 1.5 hits too. So.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
Plus money.
Yeah. Bryant, best bet, best parlay piece.
Yeah. I got a little something that I'm working up right here. Guys, my best bet for the day, I'm gonna go with Lauer strikeouts. Over 6.5 plus 126. And then I'm going to combine that with the Brewers money line. It's a plus 234 bet. That's where I'm going with it.
All right. That's interesting there. Combine the strikeouts and the money line together. And what was that? Plus
234 on FanDuel.
I like it. Parlay piece.
My parlay piece, we're gonna go back to the Dodgers. I saw everyone took the Dodgers yesterday and did not work out for them. I low-key was gonna go back to the Astros because it helped me with the sweep, but I'm gonna go to the Dodgers today, backing Urias at home. He's just a much better pitcher there overall. So those are my picks. Yeah, those are my 4.
All right. Alex says Rangers cheated. Good job, guys. All of you should have seen the trend leading in New York favor. Canes 1-2, Rangers 1-2. It was a fate. And how dare the Rangers hurt my guy Ratata, Toby. And that is it. That is the show. Best luck to everybody tonight. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the content, smash the like button. We appreciate all the support. And we'll see you again tomorrow for another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. Have a good one, guys.